My story is one of success. Um, Finally finding myself after a life filled with trauma. Um, I'm not a victim. I don't even feel like a survivor at this point. I feel blessed to have had the experiences that I've had because of the growth. I feel like everything happens for us, not to us. And so when you look at life as everything happening to you, you can fall into a victim mentality, which prevents you from looking at your own actions, your own reactions, and refusing to accept accountability for your part in it. Because a lot of the things that I have been through probably wouldn't have happened had I had respect for myself, had I had boundaries, had I been wiser. And so that's where I'm at now. I have boundaries. I have self-respect. I love myself. I'll protect my peace at any cost. And it's priceless. Money can't buy the way that I feel. So I'm very fortunate for the experiences that I've had to make me who I am. It doesn't make others' behavior okay or acceptable, but like Cardi B said, they're only going to do what you allow, right? So if you respect yourself enough and refuse to allow it, that's the boundaries that it takes to not go through those experiences. I had no boundaries. I had no self-respect. I didn't love myself. I carried shame, grief, unhealed trauma, and I was projecting that. I created an unhealthy environment for my daughters. I was always hyper vigilant. Very, very protective. I didn't want them to go through the things that I had went through. And so I was extremely protective and very nurturing and loving. But in that, because I was unhealed, I didn't allow them to have boundaries because it felt hurtful if one would say to the other no or whatever. I would step in and correct it, like, no, you need to be nice. So I didn't even allow them to have boundaries. And I would preach to them, you need to have boundaries, you need to set boundaries. But I didn't know what that meant. Their therapist would tell them and encourage them. So I did. Except I wasn't allowing it, and I didn't realize that. So not just not having boundaries, we lived in a 2-bedroom home. There wasn't much privacy for any of us. It just wasn't the best environment. I wanted to give them everything that they wanted, everything that I wanted them to have. I carried so much guilt because I couldn't take them on vacations all the time. I wanted them to have everything. And so I made a lot of poor financial decisions to get them things. So just not a healthy environment, very toxic. But I didn't have the wisdom that I have now to know that. I thought I had done good waiting until I was 30 years old to want kids. But it wasn't the age. It was that I needed to heal my past traumas. I was a single mom for 10 years after their dad wanted a divorce. And so I had them full time. He would get them 2 days a week. And it was hard. I struggled in every way. Mentally, emotionally, physically. My health went bad. My health deteriorated. To the point last year I broke 4 ribs because I had bronchitis, and the cough broke 4 ribs. So I was off work half the year. Put on a lot of weight. I got up to 240 pounds. So after all that happened in November, they've been with their dad since. And when we went to court in February, I told the judge I think it's best that they stay with him. I can't take care of them now. I don't have my own place. I don't have the best income. And I removed myself. I still tried to force a relationship with them. I tried to force contact until I realized that I was trying to force an outcome. When I realized what I was doing, I stopped doing that. I realized that I needed to detach. So I asked if I could leave the state. I've been pulled to South Carolina since 2020, maybe. And so I finally left Indiana, but I didn't go to South Carolina. Instead, I drove south. But now I have to figure out how I'm going to get there. But I wanted to stop. Well, not wanted to, but I had to stop and try to rebuild. Get on my feet so that I can make progress. But I knew I had to get away so that I could start over and protect my peace. I will keep you all posted. I'll stay consistent. Love you guys.